For what?
Mr. McLeod, two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question, or you're going to jail for summary contempt for not complying with the court's request. Do you, Mr. McLeod, understand that the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and/or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the charges. I
Mr. McLeod is in contempt of court, taken into custody.
Really? That's it.
This hearing is straight up chaos from beginning to end. Mr. McLeod is facing charges for assaulting a police officer, but instead of addressing the actual charge, he pulls the classic sovereign citizen move. He starts rambling about how the court has no authority over him, interrupts constantly, and throws around a bunch of fake legal jargon. But the judge, not having any of it. Every time Mr. McLeod tries to derail the hearing, the judge shuts him down, firmly but professionally. Things get so heated that, by the end, the judge has no choice but to throw him in a cell for the night. It's frustrating and hilarious all at once. The confidence this guy has in his nonsense is honestly wild, and then watching him get completely dismantled by the court is just wow. If you're into these types of courtroom moments, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. All right, let's dive in.
Do you understand your right to a lawyer, including a court-appointed lawyer?
I understand that.
Okay. And do you wish to represent yourself instead of having an attorney?
Yeah, I'm here by special appearance, and I will be representing myself.
Okay. I'm required by law, before I accept that waiver, to do a couple things. One, advise you of the maximum penalties that you could face for the charges that you're in my court for. Resisting, obstructing conservation officers is a high court misdemeanor punishable by up to 2 years in prison and/or $1,000 fine. There's a habitual offender second notice that's been filed by the prosecutor, which would make that a felony punishable by up to 3 years and/or $1,000 fine. And marine safety operating while intoxicated is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days and/or $100 to $500 fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty for the charges against you?
Well, I don't even really understand why I'm here.
Now pay close attention to the judge in this clip. The level of patience he shows is almost unbelievable. Despite all the interruptions and ridiculous claims, he actually gives Mr. McLeod a real chance to explain himself. He's calm, collected, and keeps trying to steer things back on track, even while McLeod pretends not to grasp basic legal concepts. It's kind of impressive, honestly. But let me know in the comments, do you think this guy is genuinely unwell, or is he just putting on an act to dodge responsibility?
Well, okay. Well, that's fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty that I just explained to you?
No.
Hold on. I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things.
Well, I need to establish a couple things too, honestly.
Hold on. Well, I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things, or I'm going to be in trouble.
Okay.
Do you understand that the maximum penalty that you could face for the charges that you're here for is up to 3 years in prison and/or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the nature and cause of the action against me. So
what is it that you don't understand? Do you not understand how long 3 years is, or how much the fine is that I've articulated? Can you tell me what it is you don't understand?
The nature and cause of the action against me because we don't establish jurisdiction.
That's not what I'm asking you right now. Well, I'll let you place whatever objections you want on the record, Mr. McLeod. I promise you that. Okay. Can we just go one step at a time? So, do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as charged? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine.
Well, I have another question because the statutory jurisdiction doesn't exist under the Constitution. So in order for me to defend myself, could you please tell me where the published rules of conduct are for criminal statutory jurisdiction, or where I can find the nature and cause of this jurisdiction, or how this information exists?
No, I don't even understand what you're asking.
So you're saying this is a statutory jurisdiction under what? The statutes of Michigan, correct?
Mr. McLeod, I've told you what my jurisdiction is.
General jurisdiction.
The people of the state of Michigan voted to convene a constitutional convention in 1961.
Sure.
There was a constitutional convention in 1961 and 1962. They proposed a state constitution. The voters of the state of Michigan ratified that in 1963. Article 6 establishes the judicial power. And the circuit court is a court under that judicial power of Article 6 of the state constitution. And so you're here in my court. I have subject matter jurisdiction over those crimes. I have personal jurisdiction over you because you've been alleged to have committed them in our county. That's my jurisdiction. So, Mr. McLeod, you want to represent yourself? Do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face of 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
One second.
I can see why his attorney would, Drew. Oh, shit.
Hang on, someone in the prosecutor's office is not muted. I'm going to remove you from the meeting at this time.
Oh,
Prosecutor's office is generally allowed to attend, to observe. They've participated. I'm removing.
This next moment, absolutely raw and unfiltered. You can't help but laugh. And seriously, how the judge kept a straight face is beyond me. Maybe the woman reacting in court was just older or overwhelmed by the absurdity of the situation, but her reactions summed up exactly what everyone was thinking. And it kind of makes sense why Mr. McLeod's attorney dipped out. The guy's just flipping through his stack of nonsense papers like he's about to uncover some secret legal loophole that'll magically set him free. Meanwhile, everyone else in the room, judge, prosecutor, spectators, already knows exactly where this is headed. Watching him act like he's cracked the code of the legal system when he's just spiraling deeper, it's both hilarious and sad. You really have to wonder what these sovereign citizens expect. Like, do they think the judge is suddenly going to stand up and say, you know what, you're right, case dismissed? It's like watching someone try to play a game without knowing the rules and thinking they're winning.
Mr. McLeod, do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face?
1 second. Okay, so in enforcement of mere statutes, judges of all courts do not act judicially and are thus are not protected and qualified by limited immunity. That's Owen versus the city. I just want to state a few things for the record since you're claiming this is a jurisdiction under statutory law.
Hang on. Mr. McLeod, can we back it? Look at me for a second. Can we talk here?
I've challenged subject matter jurisdiction and nothing can go forward until that's addressed. You're saying
I did address it and I denied your objection. I have subject matter
jurisdiction doesn't
jurisdiction.
exist under the Constitution.
Your objection's noted. So, Mr. McLeod, do you understand? Let me explain to you.
Sure.
Sometimes, as I said, people might want to represent themselves, but let's say they have limited intellectual capacity and they don't.
At this point, the judge is clearly over it. He's not being savage. He's just stating facts. Mr. McLeod's quoting made-up laws and fumbling through papers, and the judge calmly but thoroughly dismantles every point without even breaking a sweat. It's honestly kind of satisfying to watch. Moments like these remind you exactly why judges are the ones in charge in that courtroom.
Establish that they know what's going on before I can allow them to represent themselves. I'm required to establish, do you comprehend, do you know the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as a result of this charge? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine. Do you understand that, Mr. McLeod?
So I'd like to state for the record that
Mr. McLeod,
the
stop.
court can be
Stop, Mr. McLeod. If you don't understand it, I'm going to revoke your right to represent yourself and have an attorney represent you because I can't establish that you know what you're doing. So do you know the maximum penalty that you would face?
Your Honor, I've challenged this court's jurisdiction. You haven't established it yet. You said you've got a statutory jurisdiction which doesn't exist under the Constitution. I'm trying to figure out where I stand with this. So I can't answer any of your questions until you answer some of mine.
That's not how it works. Are you refusing to answer my question?
No, I'm
Then answer it. Do you understand the maximum penalty that you face for this charge?
So judges who become involved in enforcement of
Mr.
these
McLeod,
statutes.
I have other matters. Mr. McLeod,
Agency. What's that?
you know, I understand you want to object to things, and you're going to be allowed to object to things, okay?
Sure.
But we have to do things one step at a time. And I do have other cases today. I'm not going to entertain this for like a whole hour. I've got other cases going on. If you want to dig in your heels and just make this real complicated or real difficult, we could do that. and I can hold you in contempt, and you'll go back to a jail cell for a while.
Your
and then
Honor,
we'll
I don't wish to be held in contempt. I just wish to exercise my Sixth Amendment right.
That's fine.
And
So before I can let you under,
I can
before I
cite
can,
laws. I can cite laws that will show you that the exercise of a right can be converted into a crime. I'm trying to understand the nature and cause of the action against me. You're not clarifying enough to where I can comprehend it, as you say.
you don't comprehend the maximum penalty that you would face.
I'm not answering any of those questions until you establish that this is a court of the Constitution, has jurisdiction under these jurisdictions.
I established it. I told you. You might think I'm wrong, and you can appeal
There's
it
no
to the
such
Michigan
thing as
Court
a
of Appeals.
statutory jurisdiction.
Mr. McLeod, let me make this simple for you. Do you ever watch, let me make this simple for you.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you this question one more time. One more time.
Okay.
Two things are going to happen. You are either going to answer my question, or I'm going to hold you summarily in contempt, and the court officer will bring you to a jail cell, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. You understand that?
So,
Mr. McLeod,
contempt for what?
Mr. McLeod, two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question, or you're going to jail for summary contempt for not complying with the court's request. Do you, Mr. McLeod, understand that the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the charges.
Mr. McLeod is in contempt of court, taken into custody.
Really? That's it. Protecting my rights is what you said last time. Sorry. This is. You guys are following.
Follow unconstitutional
You're following
orders.
unlawful orders. It's not constitutional at all.
Mr. McLeod's in contempt, he's sentenced to 1 day in jail. Mr. McLeod, your sentence is 1 day in jail. We'll reconvene tomorrow and get you
This is about
notice.
the Constitution. I did nothing wrong except for question exercise my rights.
Okay, this guy is just, wow. Watching Mr. McLeod try to play lawyer without the slightest idea of what he's doing is straight up embarrassing. Like, why wouldn't he just get an attorney? It's literally a right guaranteed under the Sixth Amendment. He could have had a free lawyer, but instead, he's in court waving around random papers and spouting legal nonsense. And yeah, he looks pretty confident doing it, sitting there with his nice sunglasses like he's cracked the code, but it's all meaningless. The judge tried, seriously tried, to give him a fair shot. He was calm, slow, and clear at the beginning. But even the most patient judge has a breaking point. And keep in mind, this isn't some minor case. He's charged with assaulting a police officer, which is usually a felony and could land him in prison for years. Instead of dealing with that head-on, he's wasting everyone's time. The judge even points out that nothing he's saying applies to the law, and it's like McLeod's living in his own world. It's entertaining, sure, but there's also a sad layer to it. Sovereign citizens cling to these fake legal theories that have been thrown out by courts for decades. They truly believe they're untouchable, but that's just not how the law works. And a felony conviction? That's no joke. It can mean losing your right to vote, own a firearm, and more. Mr. McLeod's digging a deeper hole, and unfortunately, it seems like he doesn't even realize it. So that's it for the breakdown. Guys, let me know what you thought in the comments. Do you think he's genuinely unstable, or is he just faking it? And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.